What are you supposed to do when you feel like giving up? What am I supposed to do when I don't have the finances? What am I supposed to do when I don't have the support? What am I supposed to do when I don't have the resources and the tools? Am I supposed to do when I feel like I'm so behind? What am I supposed to do when everyone's always talking about me? What am I supposed to do when I'm so depressed? I could barely get out of bed. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I ever going to get out of this situation? Like, why do I feel like every time I try to show up for myself or do something, nothing's not happening? Like, I just feel like quitting. Well, let me tell you what you're going to do. First of all, welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, High Guidance, and let's just get straight to the video. The first thing that you have to do is ground yourself, like seriously. So before I elaborate into details, let's just take a moment to breathe. Like, your hormonal balance is unstable. Your nervous system, excuse me, I couldn't think of it. Your nervous system is unbalanced. So if your nervous system is unbalanced, that's going to affect you psychologically, emotionally, physically, and financially. Physically, it can affect your appetite, your diet, like constipation, IBS, inflammation. It can affect you mentally. So psychologically, having insecurities, lowering your self-esteem, having envy, bitter, anger, resentment, and financially. I was like, what did I say? Financially, you may like feel angry and frustrated because you're not where you need to be and you have bills to pay. So it's like you have to learn how to relax. Some days are going to be challenging than others, but in order for you to actually to maintain and persevere from these situations, you have to just relax sometimes. Like, you literally have to slow down. Like, you're only one person. It's only 24 hours in a day. Like, you don't have to do what everybody else is doing because they're not you. Like, you don't have the finances and the support that everybody else has. So it's just like, let's just take a moment to ourselves really quickly and breathe. Like, breathe in, excuse me, breathe in for like 3 to 5 seconds and breathe out. Like, you really do have to work on your breathing. Or if you're not somebody who takes the time to breathe, right, sit down. Like, literally sit down or take a nap or meditate. You can listen to meditation music on YouTube, Spotify. Apple Music may have meditation music. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up or let me know in the comment section. But like, you have to ground yourself. You can go outside for a walk. You can listen to music. You can take a bath. But you just have to sit with yourself, because in order for you to keep going, in order for you to actually feel better, you have to be like relaxed. So like physically moving your body, going to the gym, exercising, you have to be grounded. Like, your body has to be grounded, right? Like, it's a lot that you're pouring into yourself, especially if you're doing like physical work. Even if you're not doing physical work, your body needs to be relaxed. The second thing you have to know in order for you to get to where you need to be is that you don't have to do everything in a day. You have to make a schedule or a routine that works for you. So if you know that you're starting over, you don't have the finances, or you don't know what to do, just doing one thing a day is going to help you maintain the cycle and get to where you need to be. And like, when you are doing these tasks day by day with what you have, you're not going to be comparing yourself. So you have to stop comparing yourself, and you have to stop feeling bad about where you are compared to maybe people that you know, or like family and friends. Because it's like, if your family and friends and the people around you aren't able to realize what you're going through, how it's made you feel, and they're like not helping you, like they're not pouring into you, it doesn't matter what they think, and they're a distraction. And that's another thing. Like, you cannot be distracted about the world and everything else when you're not in the same situation. And this is something that you have to constantly remind yourself. So affirmations are important when you are doing the best that you can, and just knowing that you're doing the best you can. So affirming that I don't have a choice, right? Everything is going to work out as long as you don't give up. But it's like, you can't have expectations on when things are going to happen. So like, and I think I'm going to make this into a separate video, but it's like, when you're starting over or you're doing something that you never done before, The beginning part seems the most difficult because that's when you're building your foundation. And depending on whatever it is that you want, that is the most crucial part. Like the whole entire process, but the beginning is going to be where you feel it the most because it's just like this is how you're starting. Like this is how you're birthing it. So if you're going to the gym and you're losing weight, the first time you start working out, you're going to feel tired. You're gonna be all over the place, especially if you're healing yourself from like dysfunction, poverty, like anything that you're doing that's unfamiliar, you're going to go through withdrawals. And I talk about that all the time. So it's just like you got to be patient, you got to ground yourself, you got to affirm to yourself that you're not going to give up, you got to affirm yourself that I'm doing the best that I can. You got to not compare yourself, and you just have to take each day for what it is and rest. Like I'm a big advocating for rest. Like me personally, what I do, I'm able to have the freedom, and I'm thankful for my God, ancestors, universe for that opportunity to rest. So it's just like I've had times where people outside of me would say certain things and like make comments, but it's just like I don't have the same lifestyle as them. Like a lot of people think that when you rest that you're lazy or that you're broke or that you don't have nothing going on, and it's just like no, like you will burn yourself out and feel psychologically unstable and depressed because you're working so hard. And it's like when you're so used to working so hard and you take a moment to yourself, you think something's wrong with you when it's the opposite. Like we're not robots and I'm not a slave. And that's a slave mentality to work, 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 work. Like we're not here to work extremely hard in life. Now, just because we're not here to work extremely hard in life doesn't mean that we don't have to work at all. It's like if you take care of your body, if you rest, if you are grounded, if you exercise, if you do what you can, you're not going to feel demotivated, right? The only time you feel like you're not motivated is if you are like looking outside of you. If I'm being completely honest, like if you know that you're starting over, if you know you have to walk to work, take public transportation before you buy a car, or you got an Uber, and you see other people driving cars, or people are saying things to you like you don't have a car, blah 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 blah, that's the only time it's going to make you feel some type of way. But it's just like you have to tune all of that out. Like you're doing everything that you can, and it's like you have to tell yourself that I am proud of myself, and it is going to work out because you're doing the work. Like there are only 24 hours in a day, so it's like when you are going through hard times, you have to take your time. I think I made a video, I think I did, blah, 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 blah. I know I made a video, excuse me, you guys. There's this light, it's giving me a headache. I need to drink some water. But like I was about to say, I know I made a video about that already, but it's like you really do just have to take your time and know you're doing everything that you can. It's only so much that you can do. Like you can feel sad some days, but like trying to get out of that psychological battle, as people like to say, mentally, about speaking bad to yourself, because it's like when you constantly talk about your current situation, you become attached to it, and it's just like you don't have to be attached to your current situation. Like I'm not going to tell you that all you have to do is visualize and you'll get to where you need to be, because it's like you do have to put in the work, but it's like don't be so attached to your current situation. And the only way you'll learn not to be so attached to your current situation is if you just accept being present. And being present is something that is a skill, so it's going to take time. But the more you just realize, what is my routine? What do I have? Not compare yourself, not look outside of yourself. Take the steps that are necessary. When everything is meant to be, it will happen. And it's just like you have to let go of the expectation. So if you're going to the gym for the first time, you don't know how long it's going to take for you to see the results. If you're building a house for the first time, you don't know how long it's going to take to build the house. If you're buying a house, you don't know how much time and energy it's going to take to furnish and sign paperwork and all that good stuff. If you're starting a new job, same thing. You have to be trained. You got to go through orientation. Like the first couple of days, you got to see, how things work. If you are starting a business, it's going to take some time before you get customers, because it's like you got to put yourself out there. You got to make sure you have everything, like behind the scenes done. And it's just like when you're doing it alone, you got to start giving yourself a lot more credit. You got to start giving it a lot more credit, because it's just like I too have been through a lot of things, and it's just like, because I know that I personally don't need validation from anybody, but if you're not secure in yourself, you can't worry about what other people are saying and doing. As long as you know you're doing the work behind the scenes, I promise you, when everything is done, like when everything is stable, you will reap the benefits of what you like put in. And that's what you just have to constantly remind yourself. Like, you just have to constantly motivate yourself. You have to show up for yourself. Like, it's not an option. And that's what you probably need to tell yourself. So when you see this video, put in the comment sections, it's not an option. Like, quitting is not an option. I don't care about what anybody has to say, because just like, I know what I've been through within the past 10 years of my life. I know what I've been through within the past 5 years of my life. I know what I've been through within the past 2 years, even this year of my life. Like, I don't like to curse because I don't think it's ladylike, but I'll be danged if I allow anybody outside of me try to make me feel bad, not knowing what I had to go through, and I'm still having to show up despite everything, just like everybody else. And that's why I make these videos, to let you guys know that you're not alone. But it's like, sometimes when you don't have the support in the family, it can bother you, but I'm letting you know right now, like, you can't worry about them. You cannot worry about anybody when you are trying to get yourself out of these situations and you're doing it alone, because it's like, you're doing it alone. Like, I'm doing this alone. Nobody's helping me, and I'm not bitter or angry, but it's like, that's the reality sometimes. Like, if you have help, always be thankful and grateful, because a lot of people don't realize how much of a privilege that is. But it's like, and if you do have help, don't take these people for granted. Don't take them for advantage. Have the help and the resources, and know that you still have to maintain it. But regardless, because you guys know it doesn't matter, we're not here to compare or contrast or make anybody feel bad, but like, you have to just keep showing up for yourself. You just have to tell yourself that, like, if you know you're doing everything you can, like if you're losing weight, if you just started cutting off certain foods, you are working on your nutrition, you're working on going to the gym, you're working on